Howdy, hockey fans. Patrick Hickey Jr. here from the HockeyWriters.com, bringing you this exclusive look at how the New York Islanders would look without Kyle Okposo, Franz Nielsen, and Matt Martin. Going to be an interesting offseason for the Islanders as they have to find ways to replace these three kind of pillars of their team. You know, you've got the anchors of the second line, and then you've got the NHL's leading, hitter for the past 5 seasons. You got to find ways to replace them. So in this, we're going to play a little while in the game and kind of show you what the Islanders forward lines could look like if they do not re-sign these three guys, and if they don't make any changes at all. So the first line has a combination of John Tavares in the middle with Brock Nelson at left wing and Ryan Strome on the right. That honestly doesn't seem like too bad of a first line, and if the Islanders don't go out and sign like a Taylor Hall or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or a Stamkos, oh, very nice, Brock Nelson with a goal, then that could be a pretty good first line. But things kind of get a little funky after we get to the second, third, and fourth line, because that's when the depth of Okposo, Nielsen, and Martin plays a role in what the Islanders bring to the ice or have brought to the ice over the past 3 or 4 seasons. So our second line is Mikhail Grabovski, Anders Lee, and Josh Bailey. So the thing here is this line may not ever happen because Grabovski's missed. He missed 24 games last season with a concussion, and he missed 31 games the year before. So what is Mikhail Grabovski's status next season? This could not even, be a thing. So now you've already got questions on the second line, and that's also going to hurt the power play too, because Grabovski is a big guy on the power play. He gets points there. Also, not having Nielsen and Okposo hurts your power play too, because Nielsen is one of those rare guys that can play the point on the power play, and he's one of the most solid and dependable defensive forwards in the NHL. So let's go to the third line here, because we've had these guys out there for a while. And let's see what the Islanders have here. So I don't know why it's not making the change, but it should now. Here we go. Okay. Let's just make sure that they don't score. And they did, because I made a crappy change. God damn you, JT Miller. Let's skip that. Nobody wants to see that. So now our third line is Nikolai Kulemin with Casey Cizikas and Cal Clutterbuck. So Cal Clutterbuck and Casey Cizikas were like pillars of the Islanders' fourth line last year with Matt Martin. People like Don Cherry called them the best fourth line in hockey. Cizikas just got a multi-year deal. He's probably going to be expected to do more. Pretty sure he had 29 points last year. So is he capable of doing more? Pretty much. He's another guy that he's kind of like Franz Nielsen light, except obviously he's not going to put up 45, 50 points. But he's a guy that can do a lot. On the third line, not necessarily going to hurt the Islanders that much. Clutterbuck can play on the third line. He scored 15 goals last season. Kulemin is a guy that the Islanders want more from. Oh, very nice. Casey Cizikas. If he could do that, then the Islanders may not have that many problems this offseason. But the question remains, because he's pretty much a career fourth liner. They want to do more with him, but can they? So now we're going to get our first line off the ice. Here we go. There we go. So now we'll make the change, put the fourth line out. I will not make a crappy change like I did last time, which is the reason why JT Miller scored. So now we see the fourth line is Shane Prince, Alan Quine, and Mike Halmo. The only reason why Mike Halmo is on here is because I said to myself, okay, Steve Bernier is an unrestricted free agent. He's probably not going to be back. Eric Bolton has been on the team for the past couple of years, barely plays. He's probably not going to be back. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's probably going to retire. So who left at Bridgeport could kind of fill that fourth line grinder spot, and Halmo immediately came to mind. He had like 22 goals, I think, in Bridgeport last year. So if the Islanders don't go out and sign somebody, if they don't go out and sign anybody, this is kind of what their team is going to look like. And I'm sure Prince can probably go up to the second line if he had to, or swap out with Kulemin on the third line. So you could have Kulemin on the fourth line. That was an okay. I was going to say that would have been an awful goal, but Halmo Prince and Quine on the fourth line. Not really what you're looking for out of the fourth line. I think the Islanders would be better served to have Kazikis and Clutterbuck on the fourth line and have someone that could play with them. So as a result, we could kind of see, with the loss of Nielsen, Okposo, and Martin, that the Islanders definitely have holes that need to be filled, and they may not be able to fill them in-house. I think it's almost a certainty that they won't be able to fill them in-house. And also, it also makes the case of, if they don't, does Ryan Strome play that second-line center role that, I mean, a lot of people envisioned him playing when he was drafted? Brock Nelson can also play center. Do you kind of space things out? Do you give Shane Prince an opportunity on the first line or the second line and move Strome or Nelson over back to center? There's a lot of questions this year with this team, and we haven't even talked about goaltending. Yaroslav Halak is not happy with this 3-goalie situation that the Islanders have. They could save a ton of money by bringing in Berube and having him be the backup. Grice proved himself during the last 15 or 20 games of the season and played great during the playoffs. So this year's Islanders offseason will be an interesting one to see how they do in the free agent situation, if they make any trades on draft day. Going to be very interesting, going to be a soap opera, but then again, it always is with the Islanders. So win, lose, or draw, they're always a fun team to watch because they either pull something off very interesting, as we've seen the Letty Boychuk situation of a couple of years ago, how the Islanders got a lock for a 4th rounder from the Capitals a couple of years ago, or they could go back to, like, you know, the Milbury days, or they could even go out and pull something like a Vanek or a Ryan Smith move that kind of will shock people. So bottom line is, things will be interesting for the Islanders this offseason. They have holes that need to be fixed.
The shots on goal are those.